Welcome back to the Ultimate Diecast YouTube channel, where today we're taking a deeper dive into these diecast models. Remember, if you like what you see, like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Before we get started, I would like to have some fun with these unboxings and start doing a point system or star system for each model. And that would include how well the wheels spin, for how detailed they are, how well the paint is finished on each model, and how well the decals are applied, how well the interior is detailed, also how well it resembles the real thing, and then the price point for all of the above. But remember, this is my opinion, and my opinion may differ to yours. So let's get started. Up first, we've got this absolutely gorgeous Liberty Walk Lamborghini Aventador by Timemirco. Now, the price point for this model is around the £20 to £30 mark, and in my personal opinion, I don't think that's bad at all. In fact, I think this model is exceptional for the value, as it was tricky to unbox, but that should show that it's worth it when it is unboxed. It does also come numbered with an individual number. But look at the colour and the detail in this model. Sometimes you can pick it up on the lower end of the £20 mark, depends if you shop around. But the detail on this model is easily worth the higher end of the 30. Displayed on the leather display plate with the silver tag displaying the Liberty Walk and the number. You can see all the carbon detail, all the carbon accents, the decals. So that's already two of the points checked off for the review, which is the paint, which is absolutely incredibly laid on, incredibly finished, and the decals to go alongside that. As we take a closer look, you can get a real idea for the paint and the detail. Unfortunately, my camera does keep going out of focus, which will be a running theme throughout this video. But the first negative does come in the sense of the wheels spin but get stuck on the front. The rear does spin very well, as you can see when my camera does focus, and the rear is heavily detailed with the carbon and the Liberty Walk stretching around the spoiler. You see the titanium tipped exhausts with the purple bucket seats. There's not too much detail on the interior, but there's certainly enough where it gets a little bit of a mark, as most models do just go with a plain black interior. Unfortunately, I can't say too much on the real life resemblance compared to the actual Liberty Walk Lamborghini, as I've never seen that in person. But the model comparing to a real Lamborghini, like a regular one, is very nicely done. All the vents, the body lines, is exceptionally well done. This model, in my opinion, deserves a 4 out of 5 stars, as it ticks all of the boxes, but the front wheel just does get a little bit stuck. Up next, we have a classic, one that I'm sure very many of you will know exactly where this model is from. And if you don't, then it's Need for Speed Underground 2. And this is Rachel's 350Z. Now, I must say I was very excited to get my hands on this model, as I did grow up playing Need for Speed, and this model did stand out to me as one that I needed for my collection. This model is also numbered. It is model number 181 out of 499, as my camera doesn't quite pick it up. Let me know your opinion on the size of the wing. Do you think it's too much? I personally don't think you can ever have too much of a wing on a car. or as you can see, the 181 out of 499 made there. Now onto the review of this model, where we take a look at the paint and the decals. I was very impressed with the green, as it does very much pop alongside the pink of the decals. You can see the line of some of the decals where they are applied, which is a little bit unfortunate. By no means am I an expert on decals. I've never applied them to a model before, or do I know the differences between the different decals out there on the market. But I have handled a fair share of models with decals on, so here's something that I feel I can comment on. Now jumping straight into the wheels, they both spin absolutely perfectly with the brake discs staying in place, which is an extremely nice touch, especially with the green bucket seats to finish the interior. I did have a little scare where I thought the spoiler was loose, but thankfully it wasn't. It would have been a nice touch to add some writing onto the seats like we have seen on previous models, but I feel as though they've made it up for the extra intercooler on the front that says 350Z. Now with this model, the price is between £20 and £30 with the mini stations model, but you can get one with the figure for the higher end of the £30. With all of this combined, this model is getting a 4 out of 5 stars. For the colour being so vibrant, the resemblance to the real car, and the price point being fairly decent. Let me just take a quick pause to say, if there is anything you'd like to see added to the ultimate checklist, please do comment it below and I'll be sure to get it added, as I do read all the comments and I'll take them all into consideration. Let's jump straight back into the video. Something I've not touched too much on with these models is the display that they come in and the packaging. And with these time micros, it's a little bit different to the Inno 64s and the other time micros beforehand in the video. As you'll see that the time micro card behind the car is in the acrylic case, whereas unlike the Innos, it's behind the sleeve. Now I did struggle taking the case off as it was on very tight, almost like it got a few drops of glue on it, so I did have to pry it open. So I will cut when I do try and open it. This time we'll start off with the price range, which is between 20 and 25 Great British pounds. Now in my personal opinion, this model is easily worth the £25 of the higher end, as the detail is absolutely exceptional. The brake discs and the interior, from the rear window with the heated lines and the shopping list livery, to the ice white paint, the little dip in the roof, just everything seems to stand out with this model. I don't know if that's just the paint or it's the actual model, but as we take a closer look, you get to see how much there is the detail on this model. With the brake calipers staying in place, the writing on the tyres, so my camera does keep going in and out of focus. I can only apologise about the focusing issues in this video. I'm trying to get them resolved as quick as possible. But as you can see, the wheels did get stuck when moving forward, which is a little unfortunate. But other than that, this model is absolutely exceptional. As you can see, even the side profile, you can see the shape of the seats, which to me is something you don't see on very many models. The brake discs and the calipers are very well detailed, as well as the rear. For all of these reasons combined, I'm going to give this model a 5 out of 5 star review. Now, this doesn't mean this model is perfect in any way, shape or form, but for the money you are paying, I think this model is absolutely exceptional. Now the model we've all probably been waiting for the most, which is Ken Block's Hoonicorn RTR 1965 monster of a Mustang. The price point for this model is between 25 and 30 Great British pounds, which for the detail you're getting, in my opinion, is very much worth it, as you'll see. So as we get further into the unboxing, you can see this model is also numbered, and it is number 362 out of 999. This model is a Street Warrior x Ghost Players collab. And as we take a closer look, you can see the more intricate details that's gone into making this model. The detail gone into this model is absolutely exceptional. From the taped headlights to the big scoop on the front, the detailed interior and the original 1552s that the car comes on in real life. The decals have been put on exceptionally well, and that's from the paint and the decals and the livery all being completely spot on. All the decals in the right place, all the paint completely perfect, smooth in all places. The only thing you will notice is on the rims, the tyre does seem to overhang on tiny little dots around the wheels on both front wheels. That is something I will try and focus on as we spin it around. But as you notice, the wheels do spin, but they also move on their axles, which is a little bit of an annoying point as the fitment can get a bit messed up. But it's not quite focusing on the back of the car where it's got the Hoonicorn and the Ford logo in a very nice silver alongside the Ken block on the roof and the 43 in his legendary number. The side profile of this car is absolutely exceptional as well. As we spin the car around, I'll try and show you a better look at the wheels and the tyres overhanging on them. It's not a huge factor, and I don't think it's on all of the models. I think it's just the one I've got in hand. I didn't really focus on the interior too much with this model, but as you can see, you've got the big gold hydraulic handbrake in the centre console, and on both seats you've got completely harnessed race seats with buckles on the race seats as well to complete the look. All around, I would say this model gets a 5 stars. Even though the wheels, I don't think it's on every single model, I think it might just be mine, which can be easily fixed. Here we have a model that I was a little hesitant on buying for my collection, but I am certainly glad that I bit the bullet and brought it. This is the Nissan GT-R 50 by Ital Design and timemirco. Unfortunately, there is not a real car that I can base this off, but the price point I can base this model off is anywhere between 20 and 25 Great British pounds. This is another model that you can quite easily keep boxed, as even displayed it will look absolutely incredible. The one-off design on the back really does make this car stand out. Coming into this review, in the back of my mind I was thinking, could I be biased, as I'm not a huge fan of the futuristic style cars, but this completely blew my expectations out of the waters, and it's made me a huge fan. I can't lie. The detail on this model is absolutely exceptional. The paint is incredible. The spoiler completely suits the style of this car. Like I said, I've not seen too many pictures or clips of the R50 or GT-R 50 circling around in real life anyway. But the ones I have, this is certainly looking like the real model. And as we take a closer look, you can see the paint is just exceptional. Just look at the shimmer, and then the wheels. The only unfortunate part is it does get stuck, as you see when I roll it back there. But the front ones seem to be completely fine. The brake discs stay in place, which is another great touch on all of these models. And like I say, the paint and the colourway just really suits this car. As you can see on the rear, the Nissan badge is very prevalent and the orange is extremely vibrant. I'm a real huge fan of the shape of that rear window and also the orange accents. With all this taken into consideration, I have to give this model a 5 out of 5 on the ultimate rating, because the detail is just exceptional. Partner this with the fact it is a new casting for the diecast community. They have done an exceptional job in making this really stand out amongst their own. And going full circle, we end with another Lamborghini by timemirco and Liberty Walk. It's the exact same model as before, just in a different colour. but again, it's just another way that shows the detail in a different way. If you have made it this far into the video, if you could drop a like, that would be great, because it does really help out the channel. And if you could share this about, that would also be great too. This model was quite an annoyance to get out of the box, but once you got there, you can see the full detail on display with this model. Again, it's absolutely exceptional. The colour really does catch this green, but I'll be completely honest, I was expecting it to be a lot different in person, as the box isn't the colour that is in person. But other than that, it is still an exceptional colour, and the carbon really does make it. Again, just like the purple Lamborghini to start off with, this model is also numbered, but this one is 190 out of 999. Let me know which Lamborghini is your favourite out of the two in the comments down below. Again, this one also comes on a leather base, which again is just a very, very nice touch, which makes this model seem more expensive than it is. As we pan around this super aggressive wide body Lamborghini, you can get a full idea of the detail gone into this. Just like the first one, the carbon accents completely make it with the 5-spoke rims. The huge brakes and discs certainly add that extra touch of detail. The colour really complements the body lines, as it makes them really show out on this model. But something I didn't quite point out in the first review is the interior. But the wheels did come unstuck there and do spin more than fine if you use a little bit of force. But the interior, as you can see, the dashboard has got a slight Alcantara look to it, which completely blew my mind when I first noticed it, as I've never seen that on any other diecast model before, to have that level of detail on the dashboard. Again, I do wish they added more with the seats. It is a nice touch, but I feel as though there could be done a lot more with how much space there is on the seats. As you can see, the rear is super aggressive as well, with the tyres having a small profile but still managing to get the writing on them, and all the vents on the rear. With all this taken into consideration, I must give this still a 4-star out of the 5, even though the Alcantara dash did blow me away, but the colour doesn't stand out as much as the purple, for me anyway. But please let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know your favourite from the bunch. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.